Coming up next on In the City, the severe weather season is here and we have some tips to help you prepare. Then the Murfreesboro City Council approves a new 6-hole golf course. Also in this edition of Meet Your School Board, we interview Nancy Phillips. And finally, Murfreesboro's Urban Environmental Department visits some city schools. All this and more coming up on In the City. Hello and welcome to another edition of In the City, your source for what's happening right here in the city of Murfreesboro. I'm your host, Fadia Patterson. The severe weather season is here, so how prepared are you? We spoke to a member of the Rutherford County Emergency Management for some simple tips to keep in mind. Fire and Rescue also have requests for registration of your storm shelter.
Well, the first thing I always try to stress to the general public is my saying, and that is an informed public is a prepared public. So the best thing they can do is do some research on an in-house emergency plan, so they have structure in place on what activity to take place when there's an emergency event that's getting ready to occur. Specifically with severe or hazardous weather that may be coming into the area, is to stay informed through the local media capabilities, i.e. radio broadcast, television broadcast. Pay attention to your surroundings, know when inclement weather may be coming into the area, and then be prepared for that. One of the best things that I can suggest, as I always have in the past, is to have a NOAA weather radio in your home. NOAA weather radio isn't just for weather events, it's an all-inclusive weather type warning system, along with any other type of public safety emergency message that we may need to broadcast to the general public.
In addition to a weather radio, social media has become a valuable source for emergency information.
We have come to understand that social media is the way of the world these days. A very high demographic from children ages 12 and up utilize social media on a daily basis. Approximately 45% of the general public receive their news daily on social media platforms. So it only lends to credibility that communicating with the public both ways, not only communicating to but receiving information from the general public using social media platforms, is a given. It's a need. The public has pretty much grown to expect government agencies to be able to have that capability to communicate with them. The EMA does have a website. We've also got a Twitter and Facebook page where we can communicate. We're in the process of putting together a VOST activation team. A VOST is an acronym for Virtual Operations Support Team, which will be a group of trained individuals that can be trusted to monitor social media applications during an event, to be able to, number one, for media monitoring, to ensure that information going out is correct, and collecting intelligence data from the general public when they're putting out data on a specific event that may have impacted their specific neighborhood or their specific location.
Hooker adds texting can perhaps be a more reliable means to communicate when an emergency situation arises.
Texting works on a lower bandwidth than telephone performance does. So in a large case scenario where you have a large impact, people are going to run to their cell phones first and they're going to start calling and making telephone calls. This is going to shut down towers because of being overloaded. Not necessarily because the tower's been impacted, but the impact by overusage can shut down people's ability to make a phone call. So if you're using a cell phone as your primary means of communication for telephone activity, you're not going to be able to place a phone call. But texting can be done on a lower bandwidth. In a lot of cases, when a tower has reached maximum capacity and nobody can make a phone call, in a lot of cases you'll still be able to text. And we've seen evidence of that in the recent tornadic history down in Huntsville, Alabama, and in the upper portions of Alabama, where they had people that were trapped in their homes. They could not make a phone call, but they were able to text for help.
While you're at home during severe weather, One safe spot to be is inside a storm shelter, and Murfreesboro Fire and Rescue wants to make sure they know you have one in case something happens.
We want the citizens of Murfreesboro, anyone who has a storm shelter living in the city limits of Murfreesboro, to give us a call, give us a little bit of information. The main pieces of information that we're looking for are their name, their address of course, what type of shelter it is and where it's located, if it's in the home or in the garage, where exactly in the garage, just some key points to how we could find them. Also, we want their contact information. We want the contact information of somebody in the home and then also someone outside of the home. So maybe a relative or a neighbor or something like that.
Technology is not only being embraced by the county when dealing with severe weather. One city department will be utilizing a new app in the field following a storm. If a tornado or severe weather strikes, the Building and Codes Department will be using an app to help assess storm damage. Assessors will have the ability to record damage information and pictures into mobile devices and send the data to a storm assessment map. That data will be used by emergency response teams and city management to aid in concentrating emergency efforts in affected areas. The Murfreesboro City Council recently approved a new 6-hole golf course to cater to entry-level players. Tracy Wilkins, director of Old Fort Golf, explains why he is so excited about this new golf course.
But it is going to be a 6-hole facility, short holes. They're going to range anywhere from probably 85, 90 yards up to 170 yards. It's been a need for a long time, but if you look at other sports, baseball, basketball, football, any of them, soccer, they all have an introductory level. I mean, you got kids playing 5, 6 years old. You know, if you take baseball, you got t-ball, coach pitch, player pitch, and then you get to middle school, high school. After that, it just drops off the cliff. I mean, unless you're a pretty elite player, you don't go on to college or further and play. Well, golf is a little bit different than most kids aren't really introduced to it until high school, maybe some in middle, but high school or even college and later in life. So you're missing that piece, but at the same time, while all those other sports start young and go to a point and drop off, golf is the one that maybe starts a little bit later, but we got guys playing that are 80, 90 years old, and you can start playing when you're 5, 6, 7 years old. So we are kind of missing that piece. So for us, this is going to kind of be that t-ball piece of golf. It's not just a golf facility, but it's going to be geared for anyone to take advantage of, but maybe more specifically kids. I think ladies are going to take an interest in this type facility, especially ones that are just starting out, and ones with kids. And the other thing that we're going to be addressing is the fact that it's only going to take 45 minutes to an hour probably to play it. So from a time restraint, if the kids are in school or whatever, then maybe some of the ladies can get together and come out and play, and it doesn't take up their whole day. We're also excited about tying in with some programs with recreation where doing some different things where we're going to actually have some leagues, just like they do with t-ball and flag football and basketball, where we have teams and they are going to have jerseys and numbers, and depending on what level they are, what size hole they would play to, or what level they're at or age they're at, how many scores, like out of 4 scores, you may only count 1, 2, or 3 on each hole and then go to the next. It'll take some of the pressure off. Every hole's got to count, every shot's got to count, and make it more fun and exciting. And if a kid has a tough hole on this one, he can be the hero on the next one, and more laughing and cheering and playing and having fun as maybe as subdued as you see it on TV or the golf courses. I mean, you're probably looking at about a $600,000 project or more. The city's contribution is going to be right at $100,000. So the rest of it we're either getting through grants or donations, some private donations monetarily. People can make those here at Old Fort. It is because it's through our junior program, it is all tax deductible. When these kids or ladies or people that are beginners, men that are just starting up the game, once they kind of get a hold of it or wrap their arms around it there, then the VA might be the next step from a level standpoint. And then as they get to the big course, right now if you learn the game, you're pretty much thrown out on the big course, and there you go. And it's pretty tough. Right now we're looking at the cost, to use the facility at, especially for juniors, which basically is high school students and below, but 17 years of age and younger at $2 a round to be able to play, and maybe adults that come with them, maybe $3 or $4. I mean, it's not going to be, we're going to try to keep everything as low as we can. Those are things that we're excited about.
If you want to help be a part of the construction of the new golf course, please call Tracy Wilkins at Old Fort Golf Course at 896-2448. Rita Shacklett, director of the Linebaugh Public Library, tells us about some upcoming events and programs in March you definitely don't want to miss.
Hello, I'm Rita Shacklett, director of the Linebaugh Public Library System. Linebaugh Public Library is located at 105 West Vine Street. Our hours of operation are Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., Friday and Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Sundays, 1 to 6 p.m. Here are some upcoming events at the library that you and your family can enjoy. The Rutherford Writers, Inc. will meet on Saturday, March 2nd and 16th at 10 a.m. in the boardroom on the second floor of the Linebaugh Public Library. All writers looking for help and insights into writing are invited to join. The Friends of Linebaugh Library will hold their monthly book sale on Saturday, March 16th from 9 a.m. until noon. The bookstore is located on P2, or the upper level of the parking garage under Linebaugh Library. The Tuesday Book Discussion Group will meet on Tuesday, March 19th at 7:30 p.m. to discuss Sense of an Ending by Julian Barnes. The Lit Wits Book Club will meet on Thursday, March 21st at 6:30 p.m. to discuss Crooked Letter by Tom Franklin. The Linebaugh Library Teen Advisory Board, or TAB, will meet for the Teen Art Group Video Gaming Night on March 19th and for Music Lovers Night on March 26th. TAB meets every Tuesday from 5 to 7 and welcomes anyone ages 12 through 18. Seniors Group meets on the first Thursday of every month at MGL. There's also a Senior Citizens Game Day on the fourth Thursday of every month. Both events start at 12 p.m. GED classes are offered every Tuesday and Thursday from 6 to 8 p.m. The Romance and More Book Club will be meeting Saturday, March 16th at 10 a.m. at Smyrna Public Library. This month's book is Have a Little Faith by Mitch Albaum. Free VITA tax assistance continues at Smyrna Library through March. Assistant dates for the month are March 9th and 23rd. This program begins at 9:30 a.m., but we recommend that anyone interested be at the library when the doors open at 9 a.m. Registration is done on the day of the tax assistance. Join us for preschool story time at Eagleville Bicentennial Public Library on Tuesdays at 4 p.m. and step into the magical world of books. For more information about events at the library, please visit our website at linebaugh.org and follow us on Twitter at LINE Library.
13 years ago, Nancy Phillips was first sworn into the Murfreesboro City School Board. In my exclusive interview, she shares of how she's using her platform to make the city schools the best that they can be.
My name is Nancy Phillips, and I'm on the Murfreesboro City School Board of Education. I'm what I call a Yankee Billy, in that my family was from Tennessee, but I was actually born in Michigan, in Dearborn, Michigan, right outside Detroit, because my dad was up there working. So we would go back and forth and back and forth. But the hometown I really claim is Portland, Tennessee, because that's where I spent most of my formative years. It's a small town in Sumner County, famous for strawberries. Pick your own, they were delicious. So I grew up on a farm. My whole family has been very committed to education because we have always believed that it was the great equalizer. You know, it doesn't matter what your background is, how poor, how rich, that education is what makes the difference. And so from the early age, we were taught to really value education. I'm married to a wonderful man. We got married when we were in college, and we're still married many years later. We have 2 fabulous children. Yes, I'm a proud mom. Way back in 1998, elected school board members were pretty new. I think it was only the second or third election cycle where they had been elected. Before that, they were appointed. And I had two little bitty kids, and part of what I would do from time to time to get to know Murfreesboro as a community better is put it on City Channel 3, the government access channel, which is of course this channel, and I would watch some of the meetings. I would watch the city council meetings and various and sundry other things, and I felt like I was really getting to know something about the city and the personalities involved and the dynamics of running a city just a little bit from an observer's point of view. Well, I saw in the newspaper, the Daily News Journal, they did a big article about the election, how there were 3 seats available in the school board election, but that only 2 incumbents were running. And I was so surprised because I thought in a city as dedicated to education as Murfreesboro, that surely people would be lining up to give back to the community. So I mentioned it to my husband. I said, oh, look at what they said in the paper. You know, people aren't running for the school board. And he said, why don't you? That was really the first time that idea had been introduced to me. Because for all of a sudden, somebody else believing that you could do something made it seem possible. There was another election in 2000, and that time I ran and I did win, and I've been very, very grateful for the opportunity to serve. It became a dream of mine to find some way to showcase our kids in our classrooms. Now, the shows on PBS, they're fabulous, but those are other people's kids and other people's classrooms. So I wanted to focus on ours. And I began to talk to some wonderful people. This is not something I did by myself, and we were able to bring forth this show, Adventures in Murfreesboro. And I knew that I wanted some kind of character that would host the show, because I didn't want to particularly be on camera myself. And so I began to think about what animal we could come up with which would be unique and identifiable with the kids. It would have a very childlike personality. We have a fabulous school system. It did not happen yesterday. There have been administrators, principals, vice principals, lunchroom ladies, bus drivers, just teachers, kids, parents, people for generations have made Murfreesboro City Schools the place it is, and school board members, long before I came along, you know, that really invested heart and soul to make our city system what it is. Some of the changes I have seen on the board, of course, there's a lot more accountability required in the state. We're dotting a lot of I's and crossing a lot of T's and jumping through a lot of hoops. But people don't set up these accountability rules out of malice. This is not done with any malice towards school systems. This is done in a tremendous effort to make our schools better, to give our children more opportunities, to make them more competitive in the global community.
Becky Johnson, the Parks and Recreation Department's Marketing and Special Events Coordinator, stopped by to talk about some great activities coming up. Becky?
Hi, I'm Becky Johnson with the Murfreesboro Parks and Recreation Department. We have parks, greenways, and facilities all across the city with lots to offer. Here are some programs and events for you and your family. Stroller coasters. Walk the greenway for an hour each week with your child and stroller, and then stay and play for optional non-stroller activities for the kiddies. Enjoy meeting other parents and caregivers while you get in shape, exploring the greenway and spending time with your child. For ages birth through 5 years, plus adults, on Thursdays, March 7th through May 16th, from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. to walk, then stay and play until 10:30 or so. Meet at Old Fort Park Kids Castle. The program is free. For more information, contact Melinda Tate at 615-893-2141, or in case of inclement weather, call 615-893-2141 for cancellation information. Community Yard Sale at Cannonsburg Village. Vendors sign up now. Reservations required for booth space. Entry deadline is Tuesday, March 19th. For a list of yard sale booth rules, contact Cannonsburg Village. The yard sale is Saturday, March 23rd from 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Cannonsburg Village. The booth fee is $10. For more information, contact the Cannonsburg office at 615-890-0355. Spring Kids Fest. This free family event, brought to you by Rutherford Parent Magazine, will offer face painting, children's games and activities, live stage performances, and more for all ages. The event will be held Saturday, March 23rd from 10 a.m. to 3 o'clock p.m. at Sportscom. In addition, a variety of local businesses interested in reaching families in Rutherford County will have booths to visit. Prize giveaways will be held throughout the event as well. For more information, contact Bart Fite at 615-895-4040. Citywide Easter egg hunt. Children of all ages will enjoy this hunt. Participants will hunt for eggs and then exchange them for prizes at our exchange booth. Age-appropriate hunts will be offered repeatedly throughout the event, ensuring that everyone has a fair chance. In addition, there will be carnival-style games and a visit from the Easter Bunny. The Easter egg hunt will be held at Richard Siegel Community Park on Saturday, March 30th at 1 o'clock p.m., and the event is free. For more information, contact Thomas Laird at 615-907-2251. McFadden Community Center Spring Break Camp. Are you looking for something for your children to do during the week of spring break? McFadden Community Center will offer a free spring break camp for ages 8 through 13, Monday through Friday, April 1st through 5th, from 10 a.m. to 4 o'clock p.m. Camp will consist of different types of sports, games, board games, arts and crafts, tournaments, and more. This camp is recreational in nature. Please send a sack lunch and a drink each day for your child. Registration is going on now. For more information and to register, contact Gary Arbor at 615-893-1802. For more information about these events and programs, please pick up our Rec Connection Program Guide, which may be found at any of our facilities, or visit us at murfreesborotn.gov/parks to download a copy. For other information or general questions, call us at 615-890-5333. Murfreesboro Parks and Recreation Department, dedicated to enhancing your quality of life.
Murfreesboro's Urban Environmental Department routinely visits schools to talk about the importance of trees and to bear gifts.
Our department is big on educating the public on trees. So we try to get out to the schools to get with the younger people. We do tree giveaways every year. We've done Earth Day in the past. We've done that several years. Last year we did Adventures in Agriculture. This year we've done Arbor Day, but we just try to get into some of the schools and teach the younger kids the importance of trees. That's what we're doing today. We've got 4 schools we're going to today, and we actually have a tree for each student. So we'll go in and just tell them what our department does and tell them some of the reasons why trees are important in our community. We are with the Murfreesboro City Urban Environmental Department. We have about 15 employees, and we do a lot of landscape maintenance, tree work, mow grass. We do areas, probably some areas y'all are familiar with, around the library, the Civic Plaza, the Linebaugh Library. If y'all have ever been up there, we take care of all that. Some of our really big things are like the medians out towards the avenue. If you've been out to the avenue, the Middle Center Parkway, we maintain all of that. The reason we're here today is our department every year, we're doing Arbor Day this year. In Tennessee, Arbor Day is celebrated the first Friday in March. There's a National Arbor Day, which is April 26th, but some states have their own specific days, and Tennessee's is the first Friday in March. But we like to educate everybody on trees and why they're important. We've got a tree for each of y'all today. The tree we're handing out today is the Schumered oak, and it's a big shade tree. It has a really russet red color in the fall. A big shade tree, probably 40 to 60 feet tall at maturity. Actually, fall is really probably the best time to plant because trees are going dormant. But wintertime's fine too. A lot of people think, you can't plant in the winter because they're going to die, but it's actually, the trees are dormant. So, so planting this time of year is fine. Yeah, I think that's very important to educate kids when they're young, and I do enjoy, you know, seeing them ask all the questions, and you know, a lot of times when we hand out trees, I'll see, especially with Earth Day, and we've done that so many years, you'll see the same people come back and they'll kind of say, yeah, this tree's doing great, we planted this tree this year, and they'll have stories for you. So it's good to see that they're into it and they're planting the trees and telling you about, telling you about it.
Linda Burt is back to tell us about some upcoming classes, trips, dances, and other programs being offered by the St. Clair Street Senior Center.
Hi, I'm Linda Burt. If you're a senior in Murfreesboro, we'd love for you to come and check out the St. Clair Street Senior Center. There's always something happening at St. Clair, all with you in mind. Here are just some of the activities we have coming up.
March the 12th at 9 o'clock is the pharmacist consultation. If you would like to talk to a pharmacist about your medications, call the nurse at the Senior Center to set up an appointment. The pharmacist will be at the Senior Center to go over your prescriptions, over-the-counter medications, and herbs and vitamins. March 14 at 1 o'clock is Diabetes and Me. Dr. Rebecca Baskin is a medical director of the Wound Care Center of Middle Tennessee. Find out more about wound care and preventive methods during this health education class. March the 15th at 11:30, the Rutherford County Council on Aging and the St. Clair Street Senior Center will bring an open forum of the continuum of care in long-term care. This very informative program will bring professionals of long-term care from adult day services through to nursing home or skilled care. You won't want to miss this excellent resource of information. A light lunch will be provided. Be sure to sign up at St. Clair Street Senior Center. There is no charge for this event because of the generous sponsors. The seating is limited, so be sure and call the Senior Center to reserve your place. March 15 at 1 o'clock begins the Wii Bowling Spring League. If you enjoy bowling, stop by the Senior Center and check out the plans for the Wii Bowling Spring League. March 16 at 1 o'clock is the Irish Dance. This is a daytime dance with live music provided by Bill Sleater Trio. Admission for this dance is $5. March the 19th at 10 o'clock, the quilters meet to make beautiful quilts from start to finish. They also will refurbish heirloom quilts that have become tattered through the years. If you are an experienced quilter or want to learn, join the group of quilters Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10 o'clock. March the 21st at 11:30 is the Lunch and Learn Education Series. The subject is Hope Formula. The guest speaker is Quinn Raines, an RN from the Warm Springs Wellness Center. Please sign up to attend this informative class. March the 21st at 1 o'clock is the first sketching class. This is an 8-week class for beginners or anyone who wants to improve their sketching skills. The class is taught by artist Bill Bickford. All supplies are provided. The tax consultants are at the Senior Center to give assistance in preparing taxes. Please call the Senior Center to book an appointment to have your taxes prepared.
We'd love for you to come and be a part of what's going on at St. Clair Street Senior Center. If you'd like to join us and sign up for classes, trips, and events, we're located at 325 St. Clair Street. And for more information, you can call us at 848-2550 or visit us on the web at www.murfreesborotn.gov. Come and join us.
In order to honor friends of the City of Murfreesboro on Facebook, we present City TV's Facebook Friend of the Week. This week, it's Amanda Parks. You too can be our Facebook Friend of the Week by liking us after you type in City of Murfreesboro on the Facebook website, or you can click on the Facebook link on the city's website at www.murfreesborotn.gov. As always, our goal here at Murfreesboro City TV is to provide you with local city information 24 hours a day. So if you want to find out what's happening right here in your town, pick up a copy of our program schedule at the Linebaugh Public Library, St. Clair Street Senior Center, or the city's website at murfreesborotn.gov. If you'd like a copy via email, just send the request to citytv@murfreesborotn.gov. Remember, on the city's website, you have city programs and meetings right at your fingertips. And the City TV channel is streaming live 24 hours a day at www.murfreesborotn.gov. In addition, please visit us on YouTube as we offer a wide variety of programming just for you. Until next time, I'm your host, Fadia Patterson. We'll see you soon in the city.